You understand what saying? Like this is we just want basically, right? I want to help viewers, like creators,
Yeah.
especially new creators as well,
Yeah.
who don't know how to begin and all those like
Yeah.
let them listen from other creators. How
Okay.
it really, really is,
Yeah.
how it really, really is in the personal life and in the industry,
Alright.
essentially. There are many artists out there who just have the same sound and don't really have an interest in music outside of trends.
Yeah.
So whenever you listen to those songs, it's like you're hearing the same thing over and over. So as a creator in the music industry, how do you cope with creating still under these conditions? How do you stay true to your own sound?
My own sound.
Yeah, and what does that
Okay,
mean
so
for you?
the thing that I think it depends on the kind of art you make. There are artists that are trying to blow up, to be very commercial, and there are some that do it for the love of the craft and to the idea of success is different to people, right? For me, what I consider to be successful is something that is finished and something that will reach the right audience. You understand? So I see some artists that just probably have like 20,000 um like their fan base like probably like 20,000 people, 20,000 monthly listeners, and they are constantly feeding them.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And those guys constantly engage, and I can see the artists attaining success with that small fan base. So it's like a niche thing.
Okay. Okay.
So take for example someone like NF now. NF is not trying to sound like Liriachi. NF is not trying to add love drums to his sound because that's the shit that's what. Can I cut?
Yes, yes, of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
So he's been NF. There's a world, like there's an entire different world of his own, and that's how I feel. So there are artists that choose to stay in that box. You understand? This is where I want. I want to keep making this sound, and whoever talks with it, fine. If you don't, just bounce. And then there are some others that we are trying to shape shift into what the world needs at what will make the next TikTok trend.
Okay.
So for someone like me, how I adapt to something like that is so far so good. I think I've been very much authentic to my sound.
Okay.
But recently I noticed I'm trying to blend.
Adapt.
I think that there is it's okay for you to want to change into something that people will listen to because that's what the world is constantly retuning itself.
Yes.
You understand? So me, I find that need to. I can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Yeah. So I what I'm currently doing for myself and what I recommend for any creative that is in this space is to keep doing you, but you could incubate what is new into what you're already doing. Somebody said something, a creator that I follow, she said it's been done before, but it's not been done by you.
By you.
If you are trying to make piano or R&B, maybe somebody has done it before, but when you do it, it's going to sound different. So personally, I just feel like do what you need to do to get yourself to where you need to.
Where you need to.
And just stay true to yourself. That's why most of the artists I consume on a daily basis, I like them more than just the music that they make. They show me something more that is way more. When I listen to J. Cole, it shows me a lifestyle.
Thank you for that, and also thank you for the setup, by the way. So, next question I have for you is: who are you right now at this moment? Right? Not what you do.
Okay.
Who are you right now, and who are you becoming?
That's a very, very deep question. That's a very deep question. Who am I outside of what I do?
Yes.
And who am I trying to become?
Take your time.
Yeah. Who am I? It's crazy though. But I think that who I am currently is the crazy thing is that I've been living my life, attached to a sense of purpose. Like I feel like this is what I want to do. But then, if you ask me, who am I outside of this thing that I'm doing? Like, okay, I think that I am somebody that is playing his part to have the world function the way it's supposed to be. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. We are all placed in this world do something, to have a purpose, to play a part,
To
you
play part.
are like pieces in a chess game or something, right? So I am pleased. I believe that there's a force beyond there's a force beyond the physical, right? And there's a part I have to play to for the betterment of the entire universe, no matter how small it is. So whatever I can become anything, I can do anything as long as I am playing that part that I need to play. So who I am currently is I think I'm a character, right? That is part of a bigger picture, and there's a role I have to be a certain version of myself. I think I'm currently on that constant quest to find to reinvent myself every single day. I want to reinvent. Every time I wake up, I want to do better. I'm re-strategizing. I'm flipping the narrative. I want to be a certain version because I know that if I am this person, which I'm still figuring, it's hard for me to point and say I'm this guy. You understand? I'm this guy. I'm
Yeah.
like I don't want to. I think I'm constantly figuring out who I am. I don't know if I'm answering the
Yeah, yeah,
question,
you are.
but yeah, so I feel like that and whatever I do, it's they are like tools for me to play my part in the world. So when I make music that is true, when I make a short film, when I write a poem, when I whatever it is I do, right? It's not only trying to reach to other people, right? It's also helping me reshape myself. So anytime I write a piece, right? I'm not just sometimes I just have to do it. Do you understand? It's not that I'm trying to be consistent. I need to post every week on Instagram. Right? Like people don't understand that this I have to do this because every time I do something that's in my heart, it's it makes me stronger. Like it shapes me into being a better person. It tells me that this thing you had in your head, you did it. That means whatever you have in your head, you can bring it into light. So whatever version of myself that I see I want to become, I know it's very much possible. You understand? So you said who I am, who am I
Who are you
currently,
becoming?
who am I becoming? This question is so deep that it's hard for me to answer it without saying so much.
No, no, no. This
But
show. Are you familiar with Diary of a CEO?
Hmm?
Yeah. Diary of a
not
CEO.
much, not much, but
So-
I'll tell you about it.
You are just talk.
So
Like
thank you
we need the answers.
as much.
They need the answers.
Alright. So who am I becoming? Hmm.
Who is your heart, your creatorship,
Okay.
your creating,
Yeah.
making you become?
I think it's making me become. I think it's making me live my truth in a world where people don't always think for themselves anymore. You understand? You go online. That's why I sometimes I run away from Twitter. People run away from Twitter because they're like, oh, Twitter is savage. But for me, the most part, I feel like there are too many opinions,
Opinion.
and whether you like it or not, subconsciously they
Mm.
will shape your perspective on how you see things. So when I see, sometimes I'll be reading somebody say something, right? Somebody say something on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then I scroll down and somebody says something better that tackles what the person said. I'm like, nah. This guy is what this guy say. I'm going with now. So when I notice that pattern, I'm like, nah, I'm not even thinking for myself anymore. And you see people living their life based off what someone tweeted. You understand? There's a rapper that said people will believe whatever you tell them as long as you tell them well enough. I can convince you that this is not a bottle of water, this is a packet of matches. And if I tell you well enough, you might just get convinced again, especially if you're not strong.
I
You
understand.
understand? So, who am I currently becoming? My art or whatever I make is making me stay true to myself. When I sit down, I reflect, and whenever I put a piece together, right? It's not that I'm writing because I need to write the sickest verse. It's something that I have lived through. You understand? Sometimes the things I write about, if you listen to my work,
Yeah.
it's things I've experienced for like the last 2 years. If you check my phone notes pad, I jot down my thoughts. You understand? So and every single time I finally put out a piece is it's like conclusion of a phase that I just experienced or I'm currently experiencing.
Experiences.
So to like summarize everything, whoever who I'm becoming is my truest form. Who I'm becoming is the truth of my existence. There is
Okay.
someone I'm supposed to be, and it is not shaped by what I see somebody else doing. That's why I don't easily get offended or I don't easily get jealous or something because I'm like, my journey is different. You get me? So, yeah, I'm becoming my truth. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you so much for that answer.
Sure.
Vulnerability. You said the things you put out there are things you've gone through.
Yeah.
Right? So, what I want to know is how do you feel about that kind of vulnerability about yourself, putting it out there constantly?
Somebody once, I was talking to this girl one day, and she said that I'm not vulnerable enough for her, or I'm not like open enough. And it was so weird somebody telling me that because I'm like, most people that know me as somebody that is like I'm vulnerable and I'm open about it. And over time, I'm starting to understand that it doesn't feel like vulnerability anymore. For what it's worth, I even feel like it's a sense of strength. It shows that I'm not trying to be a hard guy. You understand? Like, bro, this is real to me. This is what I went through. This is real life. You understand? Because you are not talking about it, or because I'm not talking about it, doesn't mean it's not happening. You understand? So the ability to be vulnerable in quotes is small. It helps me. It's a therapeutic process for me. My music or my art, I don't want to even restrict it to music at this point because generally I see it as art. Is a form of therapy for me, and I feel like one of the reasons why I'm still saying is probably because of I constantly revisit myself. I am super conscious about where I am right now. I am very conscious of where I am currently. I'm very conscious of how I'm seeing things, you understand? So constantly going back to the pain or going back to create something, it's like I'm visiting myself. Do you understand? You know when you get so caught up in the whole chaos of your world. Oh, I have to make money. I have to visit this. I have to visit that. You will just sometimes you just become so conscious that I'm actually a living thing. I'm actually existing. You understand? And over time, people get so busy with every other activity and they don't pay attention to themselves. They don't visit themselves.
Yeah.
Like, have you just sat and like,
reflect?
bro, visit yourself. You understand? And that's what my art helps me to do. When I visit myself, I'm like, oh, I said this to this person, or I felt this way about what this person said to me, even though I didn't react to it then. I'm seeing that it had an impact in me. You understand? So when I visit art, it helps me be vulnerable to myself. I'm vulnerable to myself first. I have to admit, like, you cannot fix a problem without first admitting that there is a problem. If your phone is broken, if your phone screen is broken, and you tell yourself, no, it's not broken, it's working fine, you will never fix it because you don't feel like it's broken and it needs to be fixed. You understand? So if I say, oh, I was heartbroken, or I am broke, or this or that, and I'm talking about it, it makes me understand that there's a problem and I see it and there's effort to fixing it. Nico said, instead of capping, why don't you talk about being a broke rapper? Because that's real to you.
That is real.
You feel me?
That's
so yeah, vulnerability is a form of strength in a way. So
it's really interesting that you see vulnerability as strength because I think speaking for myself and I think a lot of people that might be watching, vulnerability for the longest time was an act of weakness. Do you understand? Even now, even though I'm conscious about it now, even now, a bit sometimes you still feel a resistance. So it's really, really interesting that you see it as a show of strength, which brings me to in one of your most recent videos, the one with your mom in it.
Oh shit.
Do you mind if we talk about that?
It's fine.
Alright, so the caption especially, right? This is it.
What?
Right? You can just take a look at it. So what really got
this is crazy.
what really got me interested was you said you didn't want to wait until success to tell these stories.
Yeah.
Why did you feel now is the right time that this is urgent? It's urgent to tell you now.
Okay. Speaking about being vulnerable, thank God you brought this up. I think like I said, when I started this was a short film series. And when I started this, I even said that this is my most vulnerable work yet. And this is act two. Act one was even more vulnerable. I don't know, maybe you didn't want to bring that because you're like, it's pretty too much.
Yeah.
You understand? But in fact, a lot of things I talked about in the act one of the story triggered act two, right? So a lot of artists, nobody talks about that pain or that struggle they go through with maybe the parents, or until either they lose that person, or oh, they finally become famous now, so oh, I finally made it. So even if I talk about it, yeah, people really won't really look down on me because oh, I have money now and I'm famous, right? And then you don't know that time respects no man. Do you understand? I said this when I was screening the short film at an event. So my so when I lost my dad 2024, right? And after that whole experience, I went through my phone to find a picture that we have together, a very recent picture, and I couldn't find one. Like, I don't have any picture that I consciously took with the man. You understand? You know, when you're kids now, you're saying, oh, it's your birthday, the family come, take a picture. Or maybe you're 2 years old, your dad is just holding you. That's all I have. Bro, I checked, I even went, I didn't see anything. And it's fine, it's fine. It's not like I know life is crazy. Okay, I went through my phone, I checked, I just wanted to find a recording. I needed proof that this person was real. This person was in my head. It wasn't in my imagination or anything. I couldn't find that. And in that same story, in that same act one, I said something about I wish I had paid more attention when this person was still here. You take for granted the things that you have at your disposal. Remember when I was talking yesterday, we had a conversation, I was saying values attached to things that are scarce, right?
Yeah.
And when something is everywhere, you lack value. That's why when you go to a city that have like the list of things available to them or good things, somebody that comes from a lesser city will be like, oh, you guys have this, you guys have that. You get that kind of thing, but it should be a normal thing, right? Now running it back to what I was talking about. I said I wish I paid more attention when this man was still alive. And now I'm writing songs about him. And now I'm like in his room. And now I have like some of his clothes with me, you understand, that kind of thing. I'm like somebody that was here. I'm like, why didn't I show him this video? The first when I released my debut single, right? I didn't want to show it to him because I was very hearing in most of the videos and he didn't know that I had gotten piercing. So I was like resisting to share that with him. Not because of he doesn't love me or it's just that I didn't want him to see me on that. So now I'm like, he didn't get to hear this my first single, he didn't get to see this, he didn't get to see that. Then he was even the one pressuring me, go for your service, you understand? And now he's gone. I now finally went for the service, I finished the service, I'm like, he's not here. So I don't know if I've probably forgotten the question that you asked me, but I'll probably.
Do you want me to remind you?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Help me.
So the question was, you said you didn't want to, and by the way, I'm again.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Nah, it's calm.
You said you didn't want to wait until success to tell
the
these
stories.
stories. Why did now feel?
Wow. Yes. So everything is crazy. I was still on the line. So after losing him, right? I realized that I wasn't paying attention to him. I needed him to just be a father at this point. Like, yo, your dad, do this, do that. This. But I forgot that this guy was actually a human being too that had his own goals, and a lot of those goals he put them aside for me. You understand? So moving forward, after like the whole loss and the experience, I still checked my phone. I only found like one or two pictures I had in my phone. And those ones were casual pictures that probably my sister forced me to take or something. And I'm like, now I must preserve these moments. This time around, I must hold on to these moments. Now, when I'm setting my goals, I'm setting goals in that helps my relationship grow with this. When I'm not just setting goals that, oh, I want to make a hit record life goes beyond that now, and I'm gradually seeing this, and it took a very expensive price for me to have this
Sweet.
perspective. You understand? I'm like, there are other things that count. You understand? Your relationship with your friends are important.
Counts.
When you're setting goals for your year, set goals. I want to grow in my relationship with this friend. Do you understand? This is what I need to do. I need to visit him more often. I need to call him probably once or three times a month or something. These are goals. These are important things that make you feel alive. You understand? So when you attain success, when you finally become successful, what will you now look on to? You understand? That's when you see people trying to find a hobby, constantly trying to do this. One moment this guy is doing this, the next moment he's skating, next moment he's doing live stream. You understand that kind of thing? I know, yes, you want to keep yourself engaged, but there are other important things in life that you should
Be doing.
go back to and pay attention. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with my dad. So I wrote something about my mom, you understand? And I'm like, let's make the video. In fact, with that same video, right, I wanted to do it with a female friend I had, you understand, to just play my mom.
Okay.
And it didn't make any sense. I'm like, she's alive, she's with me. Why am I not doing this with the real person? Why am I finding? I'm like, nah. My friend, one of my friends said, I don't no stress, mom. See now, I want just like find person to her. I'm like, nah, we must do with her. And she came for the shoot. You understand? I still have the BTS. She was happy. She kept dropping jokes that we're going to pay her this kind of thing. Like she kept dropping very funny jokes, and I enjoyed like making that with her. Now I know that years from now, she's not going to be with me forever. You understand? But at least I have that. I'm like, this is my mom. I did this with her. If you check that same caption, I think about something that Damson Idris said.
Yeah.
He said something about
Let's
that now.
read it
Okay,
out.
yeah. I'm not written until I'm successful or famous to write stories like this. I wanted to do it now while we are still going through it, and the struggle is still real because it's still real now. So when I'm successful, it might not feel as much. So I recently watched an interview with Damson Idris where he said he's at a point in his life where he's trying to hold on to every moment with his mother, because truly these people will not be here forever. We cannot make the same mistake twice. So this was me referencing. So he's in that video he said something like, he called his mom and he was trying to tell her that, oh, I'm making it like this. He was just trying to share all the good things that have been happening, and she tried to humble him down that don't forget where you're from, this. And then he realized that this is the only person that will ever tell him things like this, that will always caution him. And then he said while he was on the phone with her, he was trying to find the nearest recording device to just record her voice. That when I saw that, it now made sense, because I'm like, so I'm probably not the only one doing this. A lot of us, if you check, we're not like intentional about the moments we are spending with these people. And these people are really key people in our lives. You understand? So yeah, that experience, when he said that, in fact, it was one of the things that influenced me saying that I will make this video with my mom. In fact, now, like when I was setting some of my goals for the year, I made sure that I added in my relationship with family and friends, like important. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes,
I hope
it does. It does. It does.
So yeah, don't have to wait till we finally made it. When we've made it, it don't hold as much power as it is now, because you announce when you finally made it, you are speaking from a perspective of success. You're telling everybody, oh, when I was suffering, these were the people that helped me get here. Why don't you talk about it now? Do you understand? When they are still here, because what if you don't make it? You understand? If you don't make it, what if you don't make it? That means you won't show that same gratitude that you have. Do you get what I'm saying? So talk about it now, bro. You get me?
That's some real shit, right?
Bro,
there.
like for real.
That's some real shit.
For real.
I feel like you reflect a lot, and I like that because I don't think there's really a lot of artists who get the time to like, or people who actually understand the importance of even being self-aware, like just sitting down to think. So what I now want to know is this, right? Between now and when you were growing up, when you started creation, right?
Okay.
Your mom's reception to this video
Yeah.
and back then, was there a difference? Was she receptive to it or a little bit against it? Then is there a difference between now and then? How did they take it then?
And how they take it
And
now.
how are they taking it now? What changed?
So, I think one of the things that I'm constantly grateful for growing up is I had very supportive parents, and my parents are the kind of people that they give you that opportunity to make decisions and think for yourself. How I became a Man U fan, my dad called me.
Yeah.
It was he went out, right? So he called my mom and said that he wants to talk to me. Then okay, he gave me the phone. He now asked me and he wants to buy me a jersey.
Okay.
That which one do I want? Man U, Chelsea,
Mm.
Arsenal. And then I recall there was this one time I followed him to watch football and it was Arsenal he was
Okay.
watching, right? So in my head, it was Arsenal I was thinking about, but I told him the one that they wear red. Those guys that
Okay.
wear red. I was thinking about Arsenal.
Oh
You
shit.
get? So he came back with a Man U jersey.
Okay.
And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm a Man U fan. And ever since, that's how, like, seriously, that's how he became
So
a
you
Man
are
U fan.
almost an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
bro.
and from my
Thank
core,
God
I'm an
you are
Arsenal
not.
fan.
Ah, no. Thank God you are not.
So yeah, that's how it happened, Shapo. What I was trying to say is that they constantly give you that like they give you the opportunity to make a choice. You
Mm.
understand? We are your parents, yeah, but don't always don't. It's not like we say this is what you do, this is what you do. Do you want to go to science or arts class? Arts class, yeah, go for arts. You understand? So, but then while how they felt about like the whole sense of art and all, they are traditional people, they are Africans, and in most cases, African parents believe in the normal system. Go to school, read, choose to be a
Mhm.
doctor or a lawyer or this or that. So they were very much conscious of the fact that yes, he's doing this thing. They didn't really attach much value to it. I'm not going to give them all that credit and say, no, my parents were like this, that, they supported me and no, they were very much aware that this thing might not pay you, this is not much of a career path to chase. But they never really try to shut it all down, like stop this thing, you understand? So yes, they were okay with it, but at the same time, they still wanted me to be more realistic about what I wanted. So, like, over time, they gradually started like opening up to the idea of everything. Because I think one of the things that also helped that process is because they saw how true I was. Like, they saw the passion and the love I had for this thing, and they saw how it was also helping me. It was also helping me shape me as a child. You understand? So outside of discipline and cautioning someone, as a child, you are still very much capable of shaping yourself by the things you choose to do.
Mm.
You understand? So having to say I want to make music now, I started getting that sense of learning things, going for guitar lessons
Yeah.
instead of following like the kids in the streets to
Mm.
terrorize everybody, you understand? So while these guys were doing this, I was starting to go for guitar lessons. In fact, I was even more intentional about being in church because okay, now I'm part of the choir.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think that was one of the things that helped them see that okay, he's grounded by this thing he's doing and it's helping him stay focused. Do you know what's crazy is that academically growing up as a child, I wasn't like very sharp. It's not like I was dumb or something,
Yeah.
but like when it comes to the book, I wasn't the sharpest. You understand? I wasn't the guy like AC maths or something. In fact, I wasn't really serious about it. I just had to rough it down. Oh, I'm the sharpest. You understand? But when I go to higher institution, I started noticing that okay, there's a little bit of structure into this. My boss once told me that the creative industry in Nigeria doesn't have much of structure, right? And I think I agree to that in a way. So I realized that I need to. I started locking in from there because when I was in SS3, I'm like, okay, now I'm about to finish school. What is next? You understand? Then I now started like making research. Oh, there's theater arts. You can actually do this arts. You understand? In a more serious way. Okay, fine. I'm like, let's do this. You understand? Let's do this. Then I now started paying attention to classes. And I started taking literature very seriously. One course subject that I didn't like now became my favorite. You understand? Now, like generally, when I saw my passion, it made me understand that it's not all about having passion. There's work to be done. You understand? And the work that needs to be done is not just the work you want to do; it's the work you don't want to do. I don't want to read my book, but I have to read my book because if I pass, I have the chance to getting into university, getting more exposure, probably opportune to creating more, understanding the craft even much more. So generally, I think the passion just shaped me into who I am. You understand my personality, my beliefs, my sense of focus, my sense of understanding of how the world
Yes.
works. So and one thing is that they could see that, you understand, and that's why they probably started becoming more open to the whole idea. Like my dad watched me pray for. At least I'm grateful for this. The smaller he watched me pray from the couple times in church,
Oh,
and he saw the
nice.
reaction of people. And like,
Nice.
oh, this is great. This is that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he encouraged them, and they were very the one of the most recent conversation I had with him that was a very solid conversation was when I was trying to. So when I came back home, when you guys, sorry, I'm
Yes,
speaking
man.
too long. You might want to chop some things,
It's fine.
but when I finished school, I came back home again. So he noticed there's a little bit of change. I'm now putting on neck pieces. You
Okay.
understand that kind of thing. I'm now tying bandanas. My
Okay.
hair has grown out more.
Okay.
So like he couldn't understand why I'm doing this. You understand? And I was gradually helping because he was like, when you go out, how will people see you? How will people see me as a dad? This, that, and we had a very long conversation where I was trying to let him know that the way you guys are seeing now, somehow the world is right now. So my parents are subjective to learning. They are open to
Then
seeing your own perspective. You understand? And so it was from that conversation I understood that, like, I actually watched him admit that, okay, yes, I'm wrong. That it's fine, it's fine. He was like, this is why I sent you to school to read this thing. To have your own, you understand that kind of thing. So it felt very nice. It felt very nice. So yeah, that's how I just feel generally.
nice. Not a lot of parents can like admit that they are wrong. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
very very nice. It's very very nice. I want to know: has there ever been a moment during the creative process
Yeah.
that caught you off guard emotionally? You know.
Cause me got emotional. Yeah, actually, if I think it's something I've been experiencing recently. So like, but let's say it caught me off guard, because it's something that when you're a Nigerian creative, it's something that you will have at the back of your mind that this might not work. You get. But sometimes you have to stay delusional, you have to stay hopeful, you have to keep pushing. It's just like chasing every other dream. You just have to keep believing it will work. So I won't say it catches me off guard, but at the same time, it's something that I never thought I would consider. I think I'll put it like that. So sometimes you just feel like quitting. Do you get? Sometimes I actually do feel like if I channel all the energy putting into trying to make this thing work into something else, like something like just work. You understand? Just find one work and focus on that, all that creative energy. You understand?
If you feel like if you put that energy into something else,
Something else.
you will be.
I
So
feel
why
like-
not?
Why not put
Why
it
not
into
do it
something else?
today?
Because I feel like it will keep haunting me for the rest of my life, and I won't be able to live with that. That's one. Because I know it's something that I truly love, and I know that it's beyond just chasing a dream. It's a sense of purpose. It's a sense to live my life. Do you understand? Because when I find, okay, if money is my problem, yeah, I find money. What then will I do with my money? What then will I do? If my okay, yeah, one of your problems is, oh, I want to provide for my family. I want to live a comfortable and happy life. But providing for my family and living a comfortable and happy life is not the only thing I want in my life. If not, I would have made the decision way earlier and say, I want to be a lawyer. I'm going to go to art and chase this, and I believe that I will succeed. But there's a point I don't know how, maybe I've lived this life before, I don't know, but I don't know how. I'm just very much conscious that in the future there will be a higher form of enlightenment, and people will see that money isn't everything. Like your sense of purpose, your sense of existence isn't attached to tangible things. You understand? There are other things that you want to live for. That's why you see people having so much chaos in their life even after making money, because you don't know what to fucking do. I have a friend, he's cashing out, he doesn't know what to do. Do you understand? He's restless. Do you get? He's restless, like, bro. So like for me now, I don't want to find myself, because the moment I stop doing this thing that is true to me, right, I start dying. You understand? Being dead is not until you are not conscious anymore. Being dead is you not feeling alive. Do you understand? It's a feeling.
Yeah.
What's the difference with the guy that is walking down the street and doesn't feel life coursing through his veins, and the guy that is unconsciously and doesn't exist anymore? I don't see much difference. The only difference is that this one has motion. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, that's one of the reasons. It keeps is a core. It's something that generates life in me. That's why you see me, I'm happy because I feel true to myself. Even when I'm broke, right? I know that I'm true to myself, and I know that this situation is not permanent. You understand? And over time, more recently than not, I'm seeing little sparks, like something spark. That means if this person is telling me, I love what you are doing, I want you to do something like this for me, it shows that you are cooking, something is working somehow. You understand? So now, if I choose, now I'm also somebody that believe that you can be whatever you want to be. If I choose to be a barber today, I will do it with the same passion that I'm chasing music. Chance the Rapper, I think it was Chance the Rapper that said this on the podcast. He said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You see how simple that sentence is? It's so real. When you see somebody trying to maybe wash his clothes, there are some people that don't care. They mix the whites, they mix the blue, they mix the green, they put everything, they wash it. They don't care how, like, all they want is to get it washed.
Yes.
Meanwhile, there are the guys that select. They're like, oh, I want the whites to go first. I want this type of fabric. You watched Big Bang Theory.
Yes,
You see how Sheldon is. That's the typical example of how you do one thing, is how you do everything. Sheldon is organized. Sheldon is patterned. Sheldon moves in pattern. He makes schedules. Sheldon can't have a meal that he has on Thursday, on a Wednesday. It's not possible. You're mad. Like, you cannot make him. In fact, if he eventually make it happen, he cannot have peace for the rest of the day, right? So how you do one thing is virtually how you do everything. So if I pick up barbing, the same amount of passion you see me applying to my music is the same amount of passion you see me putting into cutting people's hair.
But you won't be happy.
But I won't be happy.
What we talked about previously just now is, it's we talked about. Okay, has there ever been a moment that caught you off guard emotionally?
Yeah.
So that moment,
I should speak about that moment.
I just need name that emotion. What emotion shows up right before you release something on it?
In fact, I won't say fear and doubt, but I think it's pretty much the same thing. Fear comes with doubt. So I think fear. Yeah, I think it's fear because I feel like I'm afraid that sometimes there's this sense of feeling that something has finally left you. So now what? You understand? Sometimes I'm afraid not even because of I don't think that it will be a successful post or a success. It just feels like, you know, that when you have that one gem, that one thing that like, yeah, this I finally got to, this is probably the one that will like put me out there. And then there's this fear of, what if it doesn't put me out there? I'm like, if I have something this good and it doesn't work, what am I doing?
What do you tell yourself in those moments? Like,
what do I tell myself to keep going? I don't know. I don't exactly tell. I just believe that I've gone too deep. Like, I'm so deep in my core that I can't even talk myself out of doing it. Do you understand? Because even if I feel bad about, like, if I'm feeling that fear today, tomorrow I'm just very certain that I'll wake up and I'll still do it again. Do you understand? Like, it's an before, if you check my IG profile, I think I've probably changed this, but you know when you're like writing a bio, I wrote art is an extension. My art is an extension of myself, and if I cease to do this, I die, right? So it's a part of me. If I choose to stop making this art, it's like I'm cutting off my arm or cutting off a very or pulling out my kidney or something. You understand? So it's something that I can't live without. Do you understand? I have to do it. So even if it's not bringing the money that I want, I just know that tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm still going to keep doing this. Yeah. The
resilience is I think a lot of people need to learn that resilience. And the beautiful part about life now is, if you are consistent, it will happen. Someday Just because you keep learning as you create, and you know something will click, something will click. So moving forward, when it all clicks, what are you consciously trying, or what would you consciously try not to become? Because we know a lot of people, you know, when they get famous, they say it's when you get money, or when that's when your real self comes out.
True.
So you are somebody who's aware, who's conscious. You must have an idea of what your likely vices are going to be when you get there.
True.
So when it clicks, that and other things, what are the things that you would consciously try not to become?
I like this question. I really like this question because sometimes you think you have the answer to a question like this, but you don't know. You don't know what you're capable of until you are put in or until you're given the opportunity to. You don't know if you can be a stealing senator until they probably put you and you have 5 billion naira at the palm of your hand and you can take it without anybody noticing it. That's when you know if you're a thief or not, right? I feel like even now that I'm not successful, I've seen myself going against my authentic self when faced in certain situations, and that makes me understand that there's a strong chance that I can change when I become successful, right? And I think being able to identify that is good. And I think I'm currently trying to figure out a way to keep reminding myself who I am or who I want to become, so that when I finally get to a certain place, I don't look back and see that, nah, this is not the person I was building to become, right? I'm thankful for that's why that's why content creating is important. It's not just putting out content, it's not just being self-aware, it's a form of documentation that you can go back and trace yourself and be like, oh, this is where I was, this is what I was saying. The video I made when I was 25 years old, I don't know if you saw it, but I wore a hat, I wore a blue jacket, and I was talking about being 25 and all this kind of thing. It's not even up to a year, and I'm already going back to listen to some of the things I say, and I'm like, nah, I have to do it for this guy, right? So I think the kind of things that I don't want to lose my authentic self. I don't want to lose the sense of self-awareness I have currently. Like, I know who I am. Like, I know what is true to me. And if I become successful, I don't want to be in that position where I cannot find myself again. I'm just lost. I'm just like in this body. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to find myself in that point where I can't even identify myself again. So when someone like you comes to meet me now and say, who are you now and who are you trying to become? And I cannot give you an answer. Even though now it's still difficult to give you an answer. But like, by that time I want to be able to say this is who I am, or this is what I've become, and this is what I'm trying to still become. I don't forget the ones that like stood by me at like the lowest. It's very key to me. I don't want to lose like the true ones around me. I don't want to find myself in a fake circle, because who you surround yourself with is very important.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. There are some principles I have about myself now, and I don't want to lose them too. But for the most part, I want to get there, and I don't want to get comfortable. I want to keep reminding myself that this won't last forever. You understand? So whatever this is, be ready to move on from that point when it is time. Because I'm not only trying to be a famous artist, I'm not only trying to make a short film or make this out. Like, I want to understand that life is in stages. There will be that one day that I will make music for the final last time. It's not like I'm going to die.
Yeah.
You just be that one the last time that you do that one thing for the very last time. And you won't even know it. You understand? It's just like how we are hanging out, bros. The last time the whole clique was together, we probably didn't know that this would be the last time. And I think that was even on your birthday. Last 2 years or something. That's the last time I recall having like almost everybody together. So you understand? So I want to live every moment like it's the last. You understand? I think this guy Steve Jobs said that or something. So I just don't want to be in that position where I can't like just be myself. And I think that also, sorry for stressing this, is one of the things that I'm seeing J. Cole is currently doing now, trying to put out an album called The Fall Off, right? And he's trying to tell people that when an artist makes it, you understand, everybody's talking about, oh, he made it. Then after a while, everybody's not like he fell off. He's not like who he used to be. You can't, you can't. That's part of life. There's a incline and there's a decline or something. You understand? You go up and you have to fall down, and that's what gives height value. You understand? When something is so high, you only appreciate that height because of there's a low, there's lowest of low in contrast to that height. You understand? So I want to appreciate the highest and the lowest. I want to appreciate the climax and the resolution and everything. If you understand what I'm saying, so yeah.
For personally, I feel like my opinion is this, that people who are more grounded before fame, like who are aware, conscious before fame, have an easier time of remaining who they are when it happens. So personally, for me, I don't think you would have that kind of problem. Although it helps to also constantly remind yourself.
And that's why it's putting yourself in the good circle, like the people that were with you while growing up is important, because it's important to have somebody to be accountable to. I have two friends. When I was starting last year, I have a very close friend of mine back at home, and I met him, and I was like, I want you to be my manager, but for the most part, I want you to be more of an accountability person for me, like somebody that will keep reminding me that, bro, you said you were going to do this. So it's not like only when you're at your lowest, you should have people like that. You should have people like that even while they are coming up, and keeping like the close circle of true people is important, because they'll keep you accountable for the things. So
you mentioned accountability, right? You mentioned accountability. For me, I think the best way to be accountable is to do it yourself, to remind yourself to do it. Because if you can do that, like I feel like that's powerful. So my question, so that the viewers also understand, is this: that between having somebody keep you accountable and managing to keep yourself accountable, which would you recommend to, like, let's say, new content creators, new music, like which
Okay. I think you need both, actually. I'm not trying to find a middle ground within your question, but I actually think you need both. Because no matter how much I hold you accountable for something you say you will do, it's still left to you to still decide that I will push through and I'll do. So if my friend like was holding me accountable, spoke heaven on earth, talked for like 10 hours, it's still left for me to still go back and make that one beat, or to record that track, or to go out and say I want to shoot that video. You understand? So, but sometimes you need that. It is like a sense of balance. You understand? You need somebody to push you before you start running. It's like a kid riding the bicycle when you are growing up. You know, sometimes you need somebody to help you, keep you stable, and when you are good enough, they'll let you go. You keep the journey going on yourself. So it's important to have both. That's why sometimes people always recommend, oh, have a mentor or this or that. So at the same time, it's like holding yourself accountable is important. That's why it's good to write things down, set your goals down, because whoever you are now is not who you are going to be tomorrow. The decisions you make now would put your future self in a position where he has to pay for the decision you made, because you're not the same person. Like who you are today, even if you maintain the same character, you are not the same person. One person, your future self constantly have to pay for the sins of your past. You understand? It's like I was trying to reference something a few seconds ago. I think it slipped my mind or something. But like it's you just have to, you understand, you just have to write things down. You understand? This movie still referencing I don't know if it was I watch a lot of sitcoms, but if you see me referencing it, I think it was How I Met Your Mother or something,
Okay.
where they were about to make a bad decision,
Okay.
right? And then they thought about it. They're like, if we make this decision now, we are going to enjoy it. We are going to have the time of our lives, right? But our future selves will pay for it. Then they're like, man, fuck those guys in the future, man. Let's have fun. Because they could tell that whoever they are going to be won't be the same guys that had that fun. So they said fuck those guys. And when they were in the future, their future selves were like, fuck those guys. Our past selves have made that decision. You understand? So it's like that. So when you write things down, you're holding yourself accountable because one day you'll probably find that one book you said I was going to do. You know, everybody have that one book they have when they were teenager or something. You're just writing, I want to be this when I'm this. You understand? One day you're cleaning your room, you just find you're like, damn, I didn't do this. You get so it's also a way to hold yourself accountable. Yeah. So yeah,
I can see that. I can see that. How do you want your creative work, whether music, film creation, whatever, to make people feel years from now? And for years from now, yes.
I like that. I like this question because I think it's one of the things that I'm constantly working on. How I want it to make them. I want my work to help people to see themselves. I'm not even trying to make the most relatable work. You understand? But I want my work to be like a mirror.
Okay.
So when you pick up my art and you watch it, it's like you're picking up a mirror. You're looking at yourself. You're seeing yourself because I want people to be more conscious of them. We're too distracted. Me myself, I'm not trying to be like a saint. I'm too distracted by so many things, and I know what I'm very much capable of if I am more conscious of what I'm doing at the moment, of who I am. You understand? So when I make art, I want people to look at it and see themselves and just feel seen, and not just seen by others, not just seen by my own lens, being seen by themselves. I used to say this thing that sometimes I wish I can see myself through the lenses of others. Like I have an idea of who I am to Photoshop, right? Like I have maybe Photoshop sees me as, oh, I'm this guy, you know, chasing a dream, trying to figure out life, you know, that kind of thing. Like, but he's trying to be authentic, but maybe sometimes he needs to be more realistic that life doesn't work like that. Your passion can't take you to where you want. You know that kind of thing. I probably have a perception of how you see me, but probably that's not how you see me. You understand? So sometimes I wish I have that opportunity to just see myself how people are seeing me. You understand? So that is something that I want. But at the same time, I want to see myself more than I want to see myself how people see. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I want to see myself from like the trade. Anytime I see myself acting out of jealousy or out of envy or something, I go back and I caution myself. And that's why people are like, I've never seen you get angry before or anything. It's not like something is not upsetting me. It's just that I'm just able to see why a certain situation is going to unfold in a certain way because of when you have your mind fixated on something bigger, the little things don't really bother you like that. You understand? So yeah, for the most part, I just want people to see themselves when they see my work. You understand?
Final question, my guy. Right now,
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you need as a creator, right? And as a person?
What I want as a person, what I need as a creator. Defensive. Let me see, which one should I start for? What do I need as a creator? I need equipment. I need equipment. As funny as that sounds, right?
It's true as fuck,
it's true. I know, you know this big creative, they keep telling you that
equipment doesn't
matter. Bro, you're using a Sony FX3 and you're telling me equipment doesn't matter. It matters, bro. That's why your video is clearer than my video. You get, but yeah, I need equipment, child. I need to be more equipped to tell the stories I want to tell properly. Yeah, you know, sometimes there's this short you want to get, but man, you can't get it how you want it. And it's okay to work with what you have. I'm not like shitting on that whole concept, but I need more. I need facilities. You understand? That's what one of the things I want as a creator. And also another thing is I need a sense of stability. Like I'm like, if I'm this self-aware now, if I'm this conscious about my plans, my pattern. How much can I be if I find a sense of stability, if I'm able to wake up, if I'm earning from what I'm doing, if this is what is feeding me, right? And I'm able to wake up from my bed and I'm going straight to create and I don't feel that sense of like I don't have food to eat or you understand. Your focus is your brain is working, it's working on energy, you understand. That's why you can't function properly in some certain hours of the day because you are stressed, you understand. Somebody was saying something that one of the things to help yourself to think better is don't spend too much time making decisions over like the smallest of things. You want to, you don't know what to eat for lunch. You're like, should I make indomie? Should I boil yam? And you spend like the next 20-30 minutes thinking about that. When you just make a decision and you are saving yourself brain energy and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I want to find myself in that position where I wake up to create without feeling that sense of brain drainage that I'm also trying to contemplate if I'll have something to eat tomorrow or that kind of thing. So yeah, finance is important. I won't lie to that. So stability, finances. I want to. I constantly want to be around, you know, more ambitious people like me, people that see things from my angle, and people that don't see things from my angle. You understand? Like we sharpen each other. We help. I've learned a lot from you that you don't even know. I'm still learning. You understand? I'm learning from all that of my friends. Right? So
as a person, what do you want or need?
this is the one that is more important. I think that I just want to be happy. To be very honest, I just want to be happy, and true happiness comes from living a life that feels fulfilling, doing the things I love, surviving, having like the people I want around me. It's as simple as that. I really just want to be happy, and I want to live a life that is essential to the existence of humanity. Can you say something? I can't remember how he phrased it, but he talked about people that invented things that he said no, he said he said something about I want to be so influential that he wants to be forgotten. So it's like the guy that invented walkway. Nobody remembers we but years he's still helping us exist. You understand? So I want to have that level of impact where it's something I did that even though nobody remembers that it was this guy that did it, he's still helping humanity on the long run. But generally I just want to be happy. Like for real.
That's solid, bro. That's solid, bro. That's solid. And I think you already even emphasized where happiness comes from. Doing the things you love, a good support system, good friends, not just like performative friends, finances, family, and doing like what is true to yourself. So all of those things, I do genuinely, I have a feeling you'll find that complete happiness someday along the line, and I really, really want that for you as well. Before we round it up, what would you say to a content creator watching you at home right now? Just one sentence, two sentences, and advice for them that you can speak to the camera.
Oh, I can speak to the camera. I like how he's making me feel so famous. But I think what I would say to you, that guy that you is stay true to yourself and true to what you make, because people see that more than they see more than they see how good you are at what you do. People see that trueness, they see your heart. When you pour your heart into something, it shows. You understand? So yeah, just stay true to what you make, and I believe that it's going to get you to where you want to be.
Inshallah. Thanks so much, bro. Complete episode. I hope you learned something from these creator conversations with the one and only Miles Mystical. Definitely look out for his stuff on Spotify, right? Yeah. What's the name on Spotify?
Miles Mystical Spotify, Miles Mystical YouTube, Miles Mystical everywhere.
Okay, Miles Mystical everywhere. Actually, so I really hope you learn something and pick something from this that would help you get started with becoming. So if you enjoyed this video, please like this video, follow if this is Instagram or TikTok, and subscribe if this is YouTube, if you would like to see more from us as Creator Conversation. So see you guys in the next video.